Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
Good morning. Good morning.
Sorry about that.
When you say somewhere else, it's Australia and Canada
Wow,
and
I know.
London, and you are most important of all. And I'm wearing your mother's
Oh,
pin.
honey.
I'm wearing your mother's pin. You have to
Oh,
Oh,
yay.
oh. Okay, now you're going to make me cry. And I'm still crying from happiness. It is what everyone says, Jill, right? A very sad day for America, but a happy day in the sense of justice. I especially you. I thought of you so much yesterday. What was your your initial reaction? What surprises in the indictment for you? Just tell us your initial thoughts.
see it. No, well, first of all, it is a sad day, and I think I'm sadder and happier at the same time today than I was even in the Watergate case, because if we don't have accountability here, we lose democracy. And I didn't have that fear back in the Watergate days, but now I really, really do. So it's a very somber moment. It's sad that we had a president who committed these crimes. It's wonderful that we have a democracy that allows us to hold him accountable and therefore to hopefully prevent future miscreants from criming the way that Donald Trump does. Yeah. So it's good and bad at the same time.
I just, as lay people, looking at this, Jill, this seems like an overwhelmingly powerful case legally. I mean, I have to say, even I was shocked at some of it. I just curious because it feels to me like he preempted every one of Trump's arguments already. What was your take on that?
It's a brilliantly written indictment. It is mandatory reading for all of your audience. I know they care about this, and there is no substitute. It doesn't take that long to read. You can sit down in a few hours and do it, or say I'm going to spend 10 minutes every day. Although it's once you get into it, I don't think you can put it down.
Yeah.
Because it lays out a timeline that links everything to him and to what Donald Trump did. It's not what someone else did. It's what he did. It's phone calls he had. It's instructions he gave. And it's very, very well written. The details are dramatic. There are no surprises in terms of the crimes that he's charged with. Those were pretty much what we were expecting. We used Section 241 conspiracy in Watergate, and that's a standardly used conspiracy. The conspiracy to interfere with our voting rights was not a surprise, only because that leaked after the target letter. We had warning that that was coming, and so it wasn't a surprise. I think the level of detail is what is a surprise. The omission of any mention of maybe Mark Meadows makes it sound like maybe he's cooperating. I think we have identified 5 of the 6 co-conspirators. The 6th, the political advisor, not 100% sure. What's your take on that? Who do you think?
Epstein? I don't know. That's what I was.
I don't know.
Yeah,
well, he's a lawyer. Epstein is a lawyer.
Oh, okay. I mean,
and of course, it's interesting to note that 5 of the 6 co-conspirators are lawyers.
Yeah.
And if you remember back in Watergate, many of the defendants were lawyers. And the reason the ABA adopted new ethics plans was because so many lawyers violated their ethics.
Yeah.
And
and you can tell in Trump's statement already, he's getting ready to throw the lawyers under the bus, right? I listened to the advice of many fine lawyers. He's getting ready to throw the lawyers. Why? Jill, explain to us why, but also why the co-conspirators are not charged. I mean, obviously it's for a speedy trial, but what does that mean for the co-conspirators?
It means they'll be indicted separately. I don't think they're going to get away with this. I think even if they were to come in now and say we'll fully cooperate, that the demand would be you have to plead guilty to something and you're going to have to serve some time, because their culpability has been obvious before, but is now proven in a legal document that can be established by evidence in a courtroom. And so they're to use the old phrase, they're toast, just like Donald Trump is.
Yeah.
And as long as they're, they'd be easily convicted. So why let them off? They'd have to cooperate fully as part of the plea deal, but I think they'd also have to plead guilty.
Jill, you said the other day on TV that you are, finally maybe hopeful that this could be the thing that finally turns people, his base, like they turned against Nixon and just went, oh my God, he's a crook, he's terrible. But again, we've had this conversation a million times. There was no Fox News, there was no right-wing radio, there was no Newsmax back in Nixon's day, and you must be more depressed than anybody to see the latest poll that shows them tied, Trump and Biden, after all of this. So I think it's why it's even more critical that this is televised, don't you? Because how will we ever get back to any common set of facts in this country, right?
I can't agree more. I hope that all of the parties will agree that it should be televised. After all, if Donald Trump is innocent, doesn't he want the failure of proof to be shown in a live television?
Right.
So they should be asking for it, as well as the prosecutor. I hope that the American Bar Association will step up to the plate and make efforts to have this. I also had a slight disagreement with Neil Katyal yesterday on MSNBC because I found a rule from the Judicial Conference that suggests that it's up to various courts to determine whether they will allow cameras in the courtroom. And so I think that the D.C. Circuit could adopt a rule for the federal district courts in D.C. that would allow, in special occasions, they don't have to do it for all trials, but this trial is of such national significance. Cameras are so not intrusive anymore.
In the public interest, yeah.
It's in the public interest, and it's not like it will disrupt the courtroom. You don't have to show the jury. You can leave out whatever. Cameras are easily controlled. They're little teeny dots in the wall. They're not these big, clunky old cameras.
Right. So it might not be up to John Roberts, because that's what Neil said, right?
That's what Neil said was John Roberts, and obviously John Roberts has a lot of power. He could do it. I'm just saying, I don't think it has to be him. I'm not sure I can find it again while we're on air, but maybe I can quickly identify the rule that I found that says that it's up to the circuits, and they've had some tests in several circuits about cameras and have continued them because they have been successful. So I'm hoping that it will be televised. That's so important. That is a big point. Thank you for raising.
I think is a good sign is that you are wearing my mom's Blue Wave pin, and so now she is up in heaven talking to my dad in Goldwater, and hopefully they will.
They will definitely not
once again intervene.
Donald Trump. Yeah, definitely not. And there should be a big blue wave. And I think what I said was, I don't think any of his loyal cult base can be moved. They are gone, period.
Yeah.
But I think that there are Republicans who were like your father, sensible, intelligent people with a different political viewpoint than I have.
Yeah.
But despite that, they had morals and ethics. All of the Republicans back then did. And I really believe that there are independents and some Republicans who will be swayed by, if not this case, the combination of
all of it.
3 indictments so far, Georgia coming, who knows what else.
Yeah, you'll be shocked to know my dad, as a Nuremberg prosecutor, did not have both sides do it view of Nazis. So.
Right.
I'm glad.
Yes. All right, Jill, thanks so much for taking time for such a big day. We always so appreciate it.
Say hi to Australia for us.
Yes.